We've all heard the cliche many, many times. If you fail to learn anything from history, then you are doomed to repeat it. Now, as I say that, welcome back into Occupy Democrats for another incredibly breaking story coming from across the pond. And when people in other countries choose to look at what is happening in America, the shiny beacon on the hill for all the people you know who are wonderful immigrants to this country, inclusive of certainly in some way yourself or certainly your ancestors, great-grandparents, whoever it may be. Think back for a moment. Just stop real quick in this breaking story and think about the worst traumatic childhood memory you may have. Did it come from a stranger? When we look at this breaking story, we need to bear in mind what is currently being witnessed. No different than you heard parents talk about the trauma of COVID. Well, what's going on in this country with ICE could easily be said 100 times worse for some kids. Bear this in mind right here when you think about it.
We're hearing from parents that, the reaction of children seeing this happen right outside of where they go to feel safe and to learn.
I mean, it's absurd. It's horrific. It's a nightmare that these children have lived through this, that these teachers have lived through this, that we have lived through this. We're angry. We cannot honestly fathom that this is now our reality, that we have to be afraid that the federal government is attacking our community such that they're coming into our daycares and our schools and attacking those who are taking care of our babies.
Now try to imagine for one moment, especially if you're a parent, try to imagine this little girl right here is your child.
Remain silent. Just make sure you remain silent, okay? Don't answer any questions. Just say, plead the fifth.
And when you take those two scenarios, juxtapose what happens inside of a classroom, looking back at when you were 7, 8, 9, 10 years old, school shootings, horrific, just horrific. But in the vein of the way the Border Patrol and ICE is conducting themselves, long before what's occurred in Minnesota, but certainly inclusive of what has just happened in Minnesota, Tim Walz, like him or not, nails it absolutely on the head in this breaking story when he said this.
We have got children in Minnesota hiding in their houses, afraid to go outside. Many of us grew up reading that story of Anne Frank. Somebody's going to write that children's story about Minnesota.
But in this breaking story, when you have soulful, strong people, especially from the country of Germany, and I'm half German, who sit down and take the time to say what this man says right here in this breaking story, when a couple of generations later you have people at this age hearken back to what they know their country lived through and what they're witnessing from across the pond, we might want to pay attention. Check out this statement by this German citizen right here.
We know, because in our country too, people longed for a strong leader and believed his promises. MAGA leaders are quickly destroying American democracy, American society, and increasingly the American economy, while enriching themselves in the process. It was no different here in 1933. At first, some people believed they were benefiting from Hitler's policies, but that changed quickly. The fascists had already divided people into categories and cruelly judged their worth and their lives. Once Hitler became Imperial Chancellor in January 1933, it took the Nazis only 2 months to completely destroy Weimar democracy. Watching your federal government occupy cities and target migrants is eerily familiar. The rapid destruction of the rule of law, suppression of speech, including the press, universities, science and the basic right of assembly, imperialist fantasies about conquering other countries, even allies, information control and centralized propaganda, blatant corruption at the highest level, violent expulsion of people under the guise of illegal migration, and an exodus of the brightest minds to other countries where they can freely do their work. MAGA cannot offer a future to the American dream. Worse, the crisis of your democracy is directly linked to our future and indeed that of the world. But there is hope. We are seeing peaceful resistance to this neo-fascism. most recently as a response to ISIS violence in Minneapolis and in other cities. The No Kings movement has mobilized millions of protesters. These demonstrations are larger than anything that was seen in Germany after 1933. The time to act is now. History has taught us that all it takes for evil to prevail is for good people to do nothing. We believe in the goodness of the American people. We know that there are millions of citizens on both sides of the political spectrum who are deeply concerned about the path their country is on, including those who thought their vote would make America great. Many hope for a better future, but all they've gotten are lies. The time is now for the citizens of America to stand up to fascism and defend your democracy, just as you did for Germany and the world. You still have a chance what our ancestors failed to do. Know that you are not alone. We are facing similar dangers here in Germany and Europe. But there's many good people standing up for each other, for democracy, human rights, and a positive shared future. Never again is now.
This is how a large percentage of the world is currently feeling. They may have dual citizenship and wonder if they should ever come back. They may have family here. They may have friends here. That little girl, who knows how that's going to render for her one day? Who knows what they may or may not be thinking at this point? But they are not wrong. And from the outside looking in, it has to look pretty extraordinarily awful to other people who thought this could never happen here. And yet it is. You guys like and share the video and stay frosty.